Hi, good evening, America. Good evening, New York. Welcome to the Author Show presented by the United Writers Organization. I'm your host, Stewart Riley, and we have a guest tonight. Her name is Jane Austen Reeves. She is an author, speaker, and a successful businesswoman. Author of the book The Lifelong Adventures of Mr. Ted Bear. Welcome to the show, Jane.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so Jane, I was told you were a finalist at the United Writers Organization's annual writing competition. How does it feel to be a finalist, or is this your first time entering a writing competition?
No, this is the second time, I believe. First one for poetry, so this is pretty exciting.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that, and we're rooting for you. Okay, and another story I've heard is that you were named after Jane Austen, the novelist.
Yes, my uncle, he done that. Of course, that's been good, but it's got me a lot of attention down through the years.
Wow. By the way, Jane, I'd like to let you know that we are now live in air broadcast to our partner radio stations, WBBM 101.3 New York, Big Shot Radio Virginia, Sirius XM 95.0, Radio Shack 101.8, and all the substations partner nationwide. And we are also live streaming on the UnitedWriters.org website. So, yeah, I'd like to just throw this question at you. Uh, this book, The Lifelong Adventures of Mr. Ted Bear, what caused you to write the book?
Well, I'm the oldest of five, so I've been around small children all my life, and
Mm-hmm.
though some of them can be a terror, most of the time they're joyful and extremely funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought telling them through the eyes of a teddy bear, that would kind of stir it up a little bit more.
Wow. And who is the book about? Who is Ted Bear?
Well, Teddy Bear it really is a Teddy Bear. Is my daughter's very favorite. Well, all children have either a blanket or a pillow or something they drag around forever, and
Mm.
he was hers. And so she's still got Teddy Bear. But
Wow.
yep, he sits on the shelf now, so he's
Well,
real.
wow. That's really wonderful. So when you wrote this book, Jane, what was your goal in writing it, and what did you hope to accomplish upon writing this book?
Well, it occurred to me that nowadays everybody's going in so many different directions. With work, school, games, here, there, homework, cooking, cleaning, and take me here and there trips. But they're all good. But what your children really want is time and attention with you.
Mhm.
And the book is designed to be read to your children, for you to spend time with them. And it lets you use your teddy bear voice.
Mhm.
You can take these storylines and personalize them, make them your child's own. And
Wow.
just,
That's some really good pointers for moms out there, myself
yeah,
including. Yeah, so what do you mean kids that are sick? You've made mention about.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
The book was written originally sick. Uh, it's designed to be upbeat, very kind of crazy. And I wrote it primarily for the children at St. Jude and
Wow.
cooks. Uh, because you can have fun with it, and they need an uplift.
Mhm.
They need our support, and they need our prayers.
It's
So
it's
that
it's really a good thing, that aside from you enjoying to write a book, you were also able to help those children of St. Jude's.
we hope so.
Yes. So, do you see any future expansion in this book? And if there is, can we ask how so? Can our listeners, can you tell our listeners how so?
Yeah, when we wrote the book, each story, there's about 14 stories in it, and they're short stories,
Mm-hmm.
maybe too long. Uh, but each story is going to be a storyline of its own.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's gone over pretty well. It sold over 1,000 copies, and I've got some of the pickiest critics in the world. Um, Children, they want to know when the next one's coming. So, and I've got some stories for some more.
Wow. So, is there any more books upcoming that our listeners could wait for?
Yeah, right now I'm working on a book called Spare Parts,
Mm.
and Spare Parts is well, I got to thinking about it one day, and we are a culmination of all our experiences, our information that we've taken in. Our whole
So, spare
this is
parts is
wonderful.
still.
We are.
It's safe to say that it's still in the making.
Yes, it is.
We'll look forward to that, definitely.
Right.
So, what you draw your experience, from your stories.
Well, I mean, Jane Author uh, Reeves, being an author and a speaker and somewhat successful businesswoman, down through the years, I know what to do with a microphone, and I know which
Hmm.
fork to use at a fancy dinner. And I've
Wow.
met a few people that are famous. My
Hmm.
favorite uh, is Charlie Daniels, but
Oh.
that's a whole other experience. But I've also been a wife, a mother, a grandmother, on all the venues that I've had to draw from my Christian faith and strength, and on many occasions, however, though uh, I've still managed to keep both my beliefs and sense of humor in check. But content wise, it's life and the people in it.
Wow. That was such a great, you know, answer. And yeah, congratulations, by the way, in being such a successful businesswoman. And apart from that, you still have time to be able to write, your passion, be able to help not just moms out there, but also the children of St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So that's a big congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
when, yeah, when did you know that you wanted to be a writer? Was it in
Um,
the early stages of elementary days or?
yeah, yes, it was at a pretty early age. My grandpa was a grandfather, whichever you prefer to call him. Mine was
Mm-hmm.
grandpa. Uh, he not only invented things, but he was a really good storyteller. And I remember he would tell us stories about crossing uh, the country in covered wagons and the things they'd have to do to survive. And his stories, you know, they were just awesome. He,
Uh-huh.
he so I wrote them down, and I kind of embellished in some areas and enlightened in some other areas, and turned them in for a grade. And I was in the fifth grade at the time, and my teacher
Mm-hmm.
liked them. So she took them and put them in the kind of a case up in front of the school.
Wow, that's such
And
an achievement at the very
just an
early
achievement.
age.
They stayed there as long as I could remember. And then I guess after I got married, I of course grew up, graduated, and uh, got married and moved down to Texas. And uh, hold to my little brother one day and tracked me down and sent me a manila envelope full of my stories. And I think it's a very, sometimes people give you the best because it's not solicited. She says, Janie, these are good. You might want to.
Wow.
And the fact that she kept those for 10 to 15 years, that was quite awesome to me. But, and of course, I've done some other things. I've wrote a lot of poetry, and they tell me a couple of them have even been put in music, so that's good. But
Wow.
I guess the most, I guess important turning point. I came in from high school one day, and in my living room stood Rod Serling, the voice and director of the show Twilight Zone, and he was
Mhm.
standing in my living room. And what had happened was me and my sister had entered a contest, and he came down to get me, take me to California to a writer's school. And I'm kind of leery about whether that was a good idea or a bad idea because based on my age, not agree. But
Wow.
it let me know that there might be something there. People seem to like what I write, and that's I like that.
Well, we really appreciate you sharing, Jane. And with every question I throw at you, I just can't keep being amazed by, every answer you give us. And now we're gonna have a quick commercial break. All right. So it's just gonna be really quick, a 90-second break. Okay, so hello, listeners who still have Jane Austin-Reeves on the other line as we interview her. And would like to take this 90-second quick commercial break to give thanks to our special sponsor brands. Baskin Robbins, flavors for everyone, every day, and for every occasion. Seize the yay and order online today. Frito-Lay, from summer barbecues to family gatherings to time spent relaxing at the end of a long day. Frito-Lay snacks are part of some life's most memorable. Clorox, when it really matters, trust Clorox. Prevent the spread of virus with Clorox. And welcome again, Jane. So we're gonna continue with our interview. Okay.
Okay.
So we've tackled, how you actually got acknowledged, and you've achieved so many things at an early age. When you were in fifth grade, what you wrote uh, impressed your teacher so much. So I'm guessing, what do you think about the book being turned into a movie? Is it something that you think that would be possible?
Yes, it's already been mentioned. In fact, I've already got a script
Wow.
written for it, and they turned 13 pages into 91. And
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed with the script. It has a much better ending in the movie.
Wow. I know not just me, but the listeners are also going to be, waiting for that movie to go live, to go public. So we're really looking forward to that, and I'll keep my eye on it. Okay.
Okay.
So, what do you like most about being an author?
Oh, I think I've got the most wonderful job in the world.
Mhm.
I do.
Right.
I believe that with all my heart. I work in the world of imagination.
I was truly impressed, with every author I talked to. I'm an avid reader myself, and reading from my computer, it doesn't equal to being able to touch the book, smell the pages. Of course, from a newly printed book, that's just, the feeling is just so different. And what more to the person herself who wrote the book, right? Such a great
Right.
feeling. So
Right.
how do you see your career growing or changing in the future?
Well, one of the things I'd like to do, other than write more books, um, I would like to spend some time as a motivational speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Children,
Mm-hmm.
um, encourage them to use their imaginations. You know that old saying, "Think outside the box." Today, that
Right.
didn't really apply. We uh, we surpassed the box. It's
Mm-hmm.
it is just beyond scope. But the things that we're doing, there's always somebody there to tell you what to think or what to do, what you can't do, you shouldn't do, even how to think.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we've even got devices out there that stifle. Every generation has contributed to our lives in some unique way, and that no, like I said, it's not about the box. Their imagination, that's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I just want to encourage them to use imagination. One thing that comes to mind that people can relate to, for example, the show Star Trek. Years and years we watched it. We all had a replicator, right?
Mm-hmm.
The replicator on Star Trek in the store. It's a 3D print.
Wow.
And well, it hadn't been that many years ago, the size of a room, and now it fits what in the palm of your hand or smaller. So there's room out there, and I just want to encourage them to use their imagination. See what
Wow.
we come up with.
Very well said,
Universe is the
Shane.
limit.
You are such an inspiration, and I'm sure you'll be able to inspire more children of every generation. And we're
I hope
so
so.
glad. Yeah, I'm so glad that you spare me the time to do this interview with you. It was such an honor to be interviewing the Jane Austen Reeves, you know. And yeah, so to our listeners, would you like to invite them to watch out for this movie release? And with this book, where can they buy it? What links?
I believe you can get it on Amazon,
Hmm.
maybe some Kindle. I'm not sure where else.
Yes. So to our listeners, if you'd like, to purchase copies of the book of Jane Austen Reeves, you can go to Amazon and you can just search the title of her book, The Lifelong Adventures of Mr. Tedd. It's available in Kindle paperback. Does it have a hardback, Jane?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so it's available in three formats: Kindle, paperback, and hardback. All right. So about that movie, I'm really getting excited about that when you shared there's a movie that's ongoing, trying to
Yes.
is there a specific month or year where when we can expect it?
No, they haven't given me that information yet. Um, I do believe that everybody's going to like it.
Well, with that, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That keeps me more excited.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
not going to give it
so
away.
so Jane, thank you so much again for this time. I really had fun interviewing you, and I felt like I've learned something from this interview. And not just you being an author, but being also someone with a good heart, wanting to help children and also inspiring the younger generations. By just you writing this book. So thank you. Thank you. It's really an honor to have you here in our program, The Author Show.
Thank you for having me.
So
And that was our guest for tonight's author show, Jane Austen Reeves, author of the book Mr. Tedd. If you want to get a copy of her book, it's available on Amazon and other online marketplaces such as Barnes& and Nobles. And this is your host, Stuart Riley, signing off. Good night.